All right, so yes, this is the epic case of the school nerd attacking the school bully. Bobby Jindal is the quintessential, not I can't even give him the credit of being a nerd, because nerds have character. Nerds have their own code. And I can speak to this because in so many ways I am absolutely a nerd and have always been a nerd. But so let me start it over. So maybe it's not the school nerd as much as it is the lamest guy in the room, which Bobby Jindal is. And I can't overemphasize that because Bobby Jindal is so uncomfortable in his skin that he has painted all of his portraits to be like 5 degrees, no, I'm sorry, not like 10 times lighter than his skin color, right? He looks more like a white Ronald Reagan than he does, look at his name, Bobby Jindal, compared to his birth name. But I digress. I'm going to leave him alone. There's a level of self-hatred that goes on with Bobby Jindal, but it's not about that today. What it is about today is the fact that it took this person with whom I absolutely disagree on everything he stands for. It took this person who has nothing to lose because he's nowhere in the polls. He only has something to gain. It took him to actually start taking it to the school bully, who is Donald Trump. The rich, obnoxious kid who thinks he can say and do and get away with everything. And his parents donate to the, not only to the school, but they donate to the police, and they donate so they can get away with anything. That's who Donald Trump is. And so the school nerd has taken him on, and I want you to listen.
The reality of Donald Trump, however, is absurd. He's non-serious. He's a carnival. I like the idea of Donald Trump. I like the idea of an outsider. But here's the problem. Donald Trump is not a serious candidate. He's a narcissist. He's an egomaniac. The only thing he believes in is himself. Donald Trump is shallow. He has no understanding of policy. He is full of bluster. He has no substance. So he doesn't know anything about policy. He has no idea what he's talking about. He makes it up on the fly. Donald Trump himself is full of foolishness and nonsense as well. He's not for anything. He's not against anything. Issues don't mean anything to him. Policies, ideals are not important to him. He is for Donald.
All right, let's cut that out. I got the wrong clip. That was a clip that was put together by Huffington Post. So let me give them credit because I clicked on the wrong one. But it gives you the summary. It is Bobby Jindal taking it to Donald Trump and saying everything that is so glaringly obvious about Donald Trump. That he is a narcissist, that he's an egomaniac, that he does not know anything about policy. And yes, thank you, Bobby Jindal. He makes up everything on the fly. He doesn't stand for anything, and he doesn't stand against anything. He has no moral center, no moral compass. He's just a media whore. It took Bobby Jindal's lame behind to actually say that. And so I hereby decree on the Benjamin Dixon Show that I will, for the rest of today, no longer call him lame, because right there, that joker was a G. Right there, he did what everyone else in the media, what everyone in the media is terrified of doing. This is not what he should have to do. This is what the media should have called out. So Bobby Jindal, for the rest of today's episode, you will no longer be referred to as a lame nerd. You will be referred to as Bobby Jindal, which is synonymous with lame nerd, but I digress. But Bobby Jindal is doing the job of the media. Bobby Jindal is taking it to Donald Trump. Here he is on CNN with, what's this guy name? With Wolf Blitzer, and he's going into more detail.
Trump, would you support Donald Trump as president of the United States if he wins the Republican nomination?
We're not going to let him win the nomination. That's what this is about. This is about saying this is bigger than the Republican Party. It's about our country. Look, I'm not running as a third-party candidate. I'm a lifelong Republican. I'm a Republican. But my point is he cannot be the nominee. He cannot be our next president. I think he is right to say we got to fire the professionals in D.C. I think he is right to be an outsider. He's right to be politically incorrect. His diagnosis is right. His prescription is wrong. His prescription is that he is the solution. He's not the solution.
All right, so I pressed you twice. I'm not going to press you again, but I don't hear you say at least here today, that you will vote for him if he's the nominee. This new CNN ORC poll says 51% of Republicans in this nationwide poll say it's likely he will be the nominee.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think people like the idea. I think they've been. Look, it was funny when he gave out Lindsey Graham's cell phone number. It was funny when he said Jeb Bush's audience was falling asleep. It was amusing when he gave helicopter rides. Wolf, he is not a serious man.
Wolf, he is not a serious man. No, he's not. No, he's not. And you know what, Bobby Jindal, that's a good look. That's your, I see that's where you operate well. That's your wheelhouse. So, Bobby Jindal, congratulations on finding your voice. Unfortunately, your voice is the anti-Trump. But you got to do what you got to do to get in. You know what I mean? So this is going to bump him up in the polls. Not enough to make him get to the main stage, but it should be enough for people to find their footing against Donald Trump. Because everything that Bobby Jindal has said, let me start here. Everything Bobby Jindal said prior to this, before he decided to attack Trump, has been conservative propaganda. But the amazing thing that happens when you tell the truth, you all of a sudden stop being this shield, and you're able to speak with a fire that gives you credibility. And because Bobby Jindal, for once in his life, is actually saying something that is true, he's able to convey it in a way that does not make him look like a drone, a clone of an Indian version of Ronald Reagan, a token. So he's looking like a human being that I would not mind having a conversation with. Prior to this, I would look at Bobby Jindal and just walk by because, lameness is contagious. I'm sorry, guys. I said I wasn't going to do that, but Bobby Jindal it's Bobby Jindal. But here, okay, I can pull myself out of this. I'm going to honor my peace treaty with Bobby Jindal this morning. In this instance, he looks like not only a good candidate in terms of the Republican Party, right? We're not talking about in terms of whether or not he should run America, but in terms of the Republican clown car, he looks like a viable candidate because he's finally speaking the truth. Everything he has said up to this point, he has contorted himself to fit into the conservative ideology. And now he has finally found something that he can speak with passion over, and it's about Donald Trump. Man, that is a cluster F of irony. But I still want to commend him for doing what the media should have done. Wolf Blitzer should not be asking Bobby Jindal about why he's attacking Donald Trump. Wolf Blitzer and CNN and Fox News and MSNBC, they should have been calling Donald Trump on this a long time ago. But sometimes it takes the person with nothing to lose. And it actually got a little bit better. Let me say this last thing about it. I'm going to move on. Donald Trump heard about Bobby Jindal's remarks, and he tweeted out with the same bluster about the fact that, Bobby Jindal, he doesn't respond to people with 1% approval polling, and that he never thought Bobby Jindal could succeed, and Bobby Jindal was not at the main event, so he has never met him. Well, Bobby Jindal had a reply. And I don't have the exact tweet in front of me, but I will find it and put it in the video. In his reply, he essentially said that Donald Trump is having a hard time remembering who I am. When we met, it involved a check, a fool and his money, ... Again, this is a record. I will clap and applaud Bobby Jindal one more time. Now that session is over, I can't deny it. When someone is telling the truth, it carries a level of passion that cannot be denied.